We're gonna watch a demo review. I'm gonna lend my brain to ELL. He's on a steel team, guys. Wait, H. There we go. He's running the winger. He's rolling out to middle. This is L. He's playing Snake Water. Let's see it. He's gonna go top left. This is actually how I prefer to roll out. He's top left. He took a little bit of early spam. Usually what I like to do early is to just spam across so that I don't take that early damage from early committing to the roof, because a lot of people, they know the actual timing of when a scout should arrive. So if you actually get there at the exact time when you should arrive, it's a little bit predictable, you know? But he played the mid well. He peeked left. He poked in a little bit, did a little bit of damage, but then he backed up. I like that a lot. I would like to see him though when he's like trying to evade damage on mids. I think he should be trying to air strafe a little bit more. I think that makes him harder to hit. Something I do a lot when I play scout is I'm not just moving in one direction. It's all about the air strafe. Even if someone's like shooting you and you like have to run away in a semi-straight line, if you can even air strafe around the corner, it makes a huge difference. So you should really be focusing on that kind of stuff. You know, poke in. I liked how he poked in the left, did some damage to the demo, made that extra pressure when his other teammates were pushing, and then backed up. But like, he didn't have that little detail there of escaping. Okay, he just shot at a ghost. I don't know why he did that, but hey, you do what you do. Currently, I haven't seen a reason why he runs the winger. I've watched one round. No reason to run the winger yet, you know? He's jumped on the roof, which required nothing but a pistol. And he shot 5 bullets on last with his winger, and it was a waste. How long is this? This is 30 minutes long. I'm going to try not to vomit for the next 30 minutes. Alright, here he is, top left. One thing you can actually do if you're sitting top left is sit there for an arrow. Your medic can often arrow you. Being down 2 here was pretty risky. I don't think you guys should try and push back in when you're down 2. It's a lost mid. It doesn't really matter. Like, he had no positioning. They were basically out in his own saw, down 2. You might as well just run away and set up a second hold. But now he's forced to hold last because he fed on middle, you know? Being down 2 on middle is usually the call to retreat. That's usually how it goes. Here he's sniping on right. This is okay as long as your team supports you. If your team supports you forward, you can snipe forward. If your team does not support you, you go back to spawn. Nice shot. Here you got one pick. That gives you room to take another. Don't post up on the same spot. You want to be actually, honestly, like with your team or even ahead of them. You don't want to be the last person in line. Because as they lose a player, that makes room for you, and you might be able to get a pick on their demo, on their med. You might honestly just make them hide, and that makes room for your team. Whatever it is, that one pick, as a sniper, you should be thinking, I can take a huge risk here. So you should be pushing up, being very confident. You hit a nice shot, so hit another. That's basically it. Your medic there should not die. Zacharin in chat. Ooh. Things are getting spicy up in here. Alright, your medic has died, but they're down 2. That means either you all commit or you all fall back. If your medic's dead, having a 2-man fragger advantage is the huge equalizer there. This is kind of a late commit. This is like a semi-commit. Like, you're like, let's fuck around in saw room. Why not? It's like a half commit, you know? You might as well have just falled back to second, resupped with your heals, had the disadvantage, but have numbers, have equal numbers. That way you can force them on the entry. You can play positioning, maybe get a pick while they try to enter in without popping. You know? That's basically it. But there he's just like, Alright, come to me. Come on, son. Let's watch this. Come on, child. Alright, you guys actually did get a pick and a force, so you have full advantage. All you need to do right now is say, Roamer, watch lower, we're all going to push. We're all going to push. Because you don't know that lower's being watched, you're kind of like hesitating here. Though there was a soldier in left. But again, lower is not being watched. So you guys are kind of tied to last. And you get back capped. DJ hits a miracle pipe. And he has 11 health and he survives. It should be so predictable. Like, you have full ad pushing out of last. There should be like defined roles on your team. Roamer watches lower. Someone clears left. Everyone else pushes with the combo. It should really be that simple. If someone calls, someone's like behind you or whatever, someone goes back. But otherwise, it's just a systematic push out of last with full ad. Because all these people like hesitating to push out is going to reduce your advantage as you push out. So like, we have 100% ad. You literally had 100%. But because people are hesitating, now it hasn't turned into a momentum push. You know what I mean? And now it's just fucking... It's just feed. It's pure feed. It should have been an Uber into middle. Luckily, your soldier has bought a little bit of time here, so you can spawn up. I like the choice to spawn on an off class. I like this a lot. You have to be 450, 100%. So good thing you are. But the other thing is you don't want to die for this. And you actually want to be pushing before they push. Is that a Miralyn in my chat? Miralyn, the greatest medic in European history? What's up, man? Yeah, see, here the problem is you're shooting after they've already pushed. And you're nowhere near spawn when they're like halfway at the point. It has to be like a combination of both. You have to be shooting the whole time before they push because of the spin up of the damage ramp up of the heavy. And then you also have to make sure you're not going to get picked by the Uber. That's basically it. Here they got a ton of late spawns, so no. You do not sit on last. You do not sit on last. You go scout, you try to set up on cap time. You actually would have capped second if you were on scout. This is why pressing tab is so crucial. If you're spamming tab like this, you'd know that they were 4 fresh spawns, so you'd be racing them in a second, but you're a scout, so you're pretty fast. You can cap that. Ooh, the sniper. Ooh, your medic gets out-sniped, and you get out-sniped. Here's one piece of advice. If they have a sniper, never scope first. Never. Just don't do it. Even if he's cozy camper, even if he's getting tanked, if you can shoot him with one headshot, your soldier's gonna kill him. It doesn't matter. Never be scoped up first. Right, kitty? Speak. Speak. Speak! God damn it. Alright, next mid. This time he's playing right side. He's got the winger out to get that high ground. Now he's just kind of trapped behind, and he gets a kill. I think that was kind of like a random kill. He just got like forced into that position. He got... I don't know, man. He killed a lot of people on that mid, I'll be honest. He killed so many people. But it just felt like he wasn't in control of it. It wasn't like he started into that mid and he's like, I'm going to go into their kitchen, I'm going to flank behind. Instead, he was forced into it, and he was forced behind. And that bothers me, but it's like, a lot of people are going to say, but you can't argue with results. But what I'll say is, you roll that fucking dice 100 times, that only works once, you know? And this was the one time. So I feel like that wasn't the right play. I feel like he should have at some point committed to, or not committed, but he should have like, should have decided that he was going to get heals again. He did that early pressure on the roof, which is fine. If he's going to run the winger and that's what he's going to do, he should early pressure the roof, force them to jump the roof. His soldiers should counter jump anyone that challenges him. He should back up, get healed, and then re-push the roof. It shouldn't be like he's just in and in the whole way. It should be like a cycle. Soldiers are getting healed while he's forward. He backs up. His soldiers jump. He goes in. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like that's just a much higher percentage way to play the game. Maryland, thanks, buddy. I knew I could rely on you to agree. Now I know I'm right. 'Cause Maryland agrees. Alright, here we are in a stalemate. It's a slight advantage for his team. Really, what he should be doing is getting a buff before he ever peaks anything like that. Because he does have 80 health right now, so he had to run away. But if he had full health, he could potentially fight that more and more. One thing that's in my mind anytime I'm playing Scout is if I have a buff and I see an unbuffed player as Scout, I will always be confident to take that fight. Especially if it's a soldier. Alright, his team killed their medic and they got a few kills. So right now there should be one Scout looking to get on the point, everyone else pushing. They should not stack this. There should not be ×4, ×5, anything like that. It should be ×2 on that point. Everyone else should be in last. Because the soldier, the heavy, the medic, they should all be getting hit as they come out the spawn door. Because those were all fresh kills. Literally all fresh kills. So it didn't matter that his med died. Because they basically wiped the enemy team. You never need to stack the 4th point because what are you going to do? You're going to deny their last spawns? It's not a thing. You put one person at most on that point, and by the time they get to the last point, you should have it capped, right? So that's how it works. Alright, L's playing the last side. The only thing, or the right side, my bad. The only thing he should be doing differently here is he should be jumping backwards a little bit so he can catch some heal beam. He should also be hitting the medic key. Because if he would have pushed that roof with 160 health instead of 100 health, 90 health, he wouldn't have died instantly. That's the big difference. Like when you're sitting here on the shed, it should be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. When you're on this roof, it should be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Slamming your medic key, so if your medic happens to be right here, he can touch you. He can get you with that heal. And then you're not just sitting there on mid with no heals. That's basically it. That's right. My chat gets it. Back and forth. Live by these words. Internalize them. This is your sustenance now. Back and forth. Goodbye, Lifemar. I'll see you next time. I'm sure. I wish I could see his team chat because, like, I feel like the lack of the medic key is actually a problem. This is a fight that he's like, I don't know, I feel like he just got committed to without any, like, he was, god damn it, man. You either push the guy in window with your health or you push the guys lower. You don't really do both. Because by the time this guy has shot you, you don't have enough health to kill 2 players here. You really need to either, like, relax, sit here for health, then full commit to one, and do both. Or if you're not going to be buffed, you do one or the other. Like, if you're buffed, it gives you so many more options. You can take unlimited fights, honestly. If this guy doesn't hit you, you can take this fight. But since you didn't have a buff, you're like, I'll push this guy at window, but fuck, I have 110 health, so 2 players here, what am I going to do? That's why you really need to not only get healed, but put yourself in a position where you can get healed. Like, standing still here, this is good. But then you jumped off. Why? Why do you jump off and take fall damage and then commit to this with 110 health? There's no reason. Have 185 before you do that. That way you don't need to be committed to the health pack, and you can kind of peek this at mid-range, and then back up if you see 2 people pushing you. That's what you need to do. You kind of baited them into like sacking both their scouts, but you didn't mean to do that. I can tell you did not mean to do that. You didn't even shoot. That was not your intention. But if you had a full buff, maybe it's like, all right, I'm going to push lower is the call you make. Your roamer is like, okay, I'll be with you. Then both their scouts push you, you back up. Your roamer hits a shot, you push forward. It just needs to be like this rotation, always. You call what you're doing with health. Your other player responds. You make space or bait them into you. Your other player pushes forward. You're behind them. They back up. You push forward. That's the rotation. That's how it works. That is how this game works. You don't have a Q ability, you know? You can't just one-shot them all. You can't just press one button and win. You need to realize that. This is still Team Fortress 2. I don't care if Overwatch came out 2 days ago. You still need to play with a brain and aim. Okay? There's no one-button win. So, that rotation, so crucial. So crucial. And I'm watching your medic now. I don't know why, but now I'm watching you. You got a buff? Good. Scattergun out. Good. Reloaded one shot because you didn't do much damage. But you still have a buff. Make the most out of it. So you had 150 health, but you sat back here scared. When you have 150 health, be here taking that shot at mid-range so that it at least does like 40 damage. If it did 60 damage randomly because you had the amazing aim and he did 20 damage to you, you push. Okay? But you don't sit back here with 150 health chip-shotting for 8. You take the most out of your 150. You know what I mean? If you have 150, you're here. You're not here. 150 here, 90 here, maybe. 150 here, 90 here. Learn this. You make the most out of every fucking buff you have. Like this. You have a buff, even though you have a number disadvantage, you had a buff, so you push forward. You actually forced one of their players out, so even though you had a number disadvantage, you can hold now. That is the mentality you need to have at all times. All times. You make the most out of every point of health you have. Because in your brain, you should be thinking, how can I escape this situation with 1 HP? Because that means you made the absolute most out of your life. You did the most you could possibly do because you escaped with 1 health. So every like 124 health, or with your buff 150 health, was worth something because you slowed them down to chip you down, or you killed one of them, or whatever you did. You wasted their time to shoot at you. See, like this, you're behind them, and you have full health. This is perfect because you're like, I have 150 health. Maybe I can get behind them and focus down these players that are not getting Ubered in. I killed one, and now I have full health, and I turn around. You're just wasting their time in any way. That is the scout's role. That's literally what you do. And now you guys have a last hold. A last push, actually. With a 40 advantage. So what I would do with a 40 advantage, I would peek to see if I can get a free pick and then just dry push. Or I would just relax and just push with the Uber advantage. Okay? So one problem you have is you don't hit the medic key enough, and you don't put yourself in range of your medic. Like, you're here with crit heals, but you should be right here with crit heals. You know what I mean? You should be right in range of your medic standing still. But instead, you're standing still right here. How is your medic going to buff you? What are you going to do? During this downtime, you should be doing something. There's a soldier pushing in, but because you don't have a crit heal and a full buff, you cannot challenge him and hit him for 70 damage before this Uber comes in to just get a free farm. You know what I mean? That's what you could be doing during these stalemates. Okay, you're lagging because you have a 400 ping and you live in Southern California, and because every server is in Chicago and the cards are stacked against you. I feel the pain. It's okay. But you're playing Scout, so at least the ping's not that bad. So now you spawn and you push out. Okay? What the fuck? Look at this. It's impossible. There's no way. Even Ubers, alright? You guys are tracking this. Even Ubers. Someone did damage to their soldier, someone did damage to their demo. Their demo's dead, so you push. You do not rotate to your saw. You push. Your scout is right there. So what you say is, I'm with you, let's push. Because their demo being dead, that's fucking immense pressure. That's immense opening. You do it. You just immediately do it. There's no hesitation. Their demo is dead, I go. That is what you need to do. You should be spamming like this, like what I do. I'm pressing tab. I know their demo is dead. Your teammate called it. I'm going. I don't care. I don't care. I have a teammate right there. Their demo is dead. There's no trap. I can take any fucking risk I want. Right now, your medic died. Maybe you're like, they're 3 down. Our medic's dead. I can take a risk. It's okay. That's okay. It should have been slightly better coordinated with your scout. Like, what you should have done is your scout should be going to point, and you should be like saying, alright, I'm distracting them, and then either your scout goes on point or your scout forces them. You shouldn't be full committing into a 3 versus 1 while you have a teammate with you. That should not be happening. There should be some communication there. Either it's a double force or it's a double, like, back cap. You know, one or the other. But this whole, like, double feed, no, never. Not once should that ever happen. Oh, he's lagging. 600 ping. Otherwise, that's a soldier you know is coming, and you jump towards him, so he has to hit a direct. You challenge him for the 1v1. You likely kill him because you're a scout. You push to his last. You pick up this health pack. They chase you. You call, I'm distracting them at last. Your teammate pushes in, and you retake second, and you pinch. You smash. That's what happens. But instead, you pay $9 for internet, and you get 600 ping. That's what happens. So, I want you to realize that this internet problem is well within your grasp. This should never happen to you. You should never get 500 ping. Okay? You should tell your dad, hey, get off Netflix when I'm gaming. Or you pay $25 a month for internet instead of $9. That's what you do. If you want to be better, your internet should not be giving you 600 ping per scrim. It just should not happen. Okay? Alright. Your medic said they have ad. What you want to do is not like full commit like that. You want to feel them out. You sit here and you're like, is anyone pushing saw? And if the soldier and demo both peek you here, what you do is you drop lower and you just risk it. Because you're spamming tab and you're like, alright, they're down 1. So if I see their roamer and their demo, their flank should be open and I should be able to sneak behind. Because my med's dead and they have advantage, what I want to do is just buy time for my team. And you get behind and you go that way. You don't sit here and get the call from here, because from here you die. You're too committed. What you do is you're here, so you have 2 options. If they peek lower, you go saw. If they peek upper, you go lower. You have more options. All right. All right, you guys, you know you have advantage on this Uber. What it is it's a 40% advantage. If your scout is already with the combo, you don't go to the combo. If your scout is with the flank, you go to the combo. Looks like your scout's nowhere to be seen. He's feeding. Esper should not have died right now because you guys have ad. What he should be doing is like peeking and distracting. You're lagging so bad that you cannot be on this Uber. But what literally should have been happening is you should not be here watching your medic walk away from you. You should be sitting here waiting for medic to catch up to you, and then you push forward. Your scout should be the first one through because he can peek the traps, call that there's no traps, and potentially be so fast that he gets through and they don't pop, or they don't dead their trap, or he can get through, they don't dead, and then you clear the trap and your team gets through for free, or there's no trap whatsoever, you get through and then they spam you and your combo walks in. That's the scout's role in these pushes. He should not be lagging behind 4 seconds. He's literally lagging with 400 ping, but he should not be lagging like the fucking tortoise in the hare, thinking that if I'm the last one to the finish line, I'm the first. You know? You actually have to be first as the scout. There's no fucking fables here in Team Fortress 2. You know? There's no fucking furry characters to play as. You're a human, and you need to be in first. Okay? So now it's even Ubers, you're down 2. You should expect them to somewhat push, but they're down a soldier. You need to be like thinking they spawn really far back, okay? This guy spawns back here, Meanwhile, and look at how far he has to go to actually get in on this push. He has to go all the way up to here. Now let's compare that backwards to how far you have to go. You spawn here. Like, that's half the time. So even if they have numbers advantage, but they're down 1, if you're spawning in time to fight, it's technically, like, effectively, practically, it's even numbers. So you need to make sure your team knows that. You know? Alright, let's see. Even Ubers. You wanted to know what to do on the stalemates. Honestly, if you're holding second and they have middle, your job as a scout is to make sure they cannot force your medic for nothing. They're going to probably sack one player to force your medic because that's how people think you play this game. Ever since Tag did it. Instead, they're sacrificing their entire flank, but they're killing your whole team. Which should never happen, and you guys should not pop when your medic is full health. So that was a thrown push. And your medic is forced out. So, yeah. A problem there is your other scout, Esper, he pushed this with no coordination and no buff. He's just like sitting here. What are you going to do right here? You're going to get flanked from kitchen, you're going to get pushed by 2 buff players right here, and you're going to die. Meanwhile, the rest of your team's sitting here. What the fuck do you expect them to do if you don't speak? Tell your teammates to help you. Come on, man. Alright, you guys have mid, they have Uber. They have mid, you have Uber, your med just spawned. Personally, I don't like that you went back to touch up with your medic. I would have liked you to be in like a spot like this or up here to get the call in where their combo's coming and escape out. Just put a little bit of pressure on them. Your demo should not die for this. I honestly don't think any of you should have died because they Ubered like over here. And you guys actually did have advantage because their Uber was going to kill nothing. But because you guys committed after they popped, you lost 2. And now you're holding last. You guys just would have like kited, played the edges after their Uber was god awful and was killing nothing. You actually could have repushed this. You have your medic fake call that he has Uber. And then you're in their fucking heads. And you push them out. That's what you do. Do I have a pop filter? No. I have this fucking fuzzy thing. Pop, 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 pop. Does it work? Alright, here we go. You guys Ubered in. Do not go sniper if your team is Ubering in. Look, you're just stranded. You're like, you have no one to shoot at. Absolutely no one. And you're actually doing nothing. You're doing nothing. If your team is pushing, your pocket or medic or whoever's in the combo making these calls should be saying, we are going to push because we have advantage. And you should not be on sniper. Just do not be on sniper if that's happening. Never. Alright, you got a sign kill, but if you were on scout, you would have killed that guy 10 seconds ago. So, again, don't be on sniper because you just killed their demo man. That's a free push because guess what? There's no trap here. 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 That's a free push out. So being on sniper is just halting your team's momentum. Nice shot. Good job. Your medic's dead, so you kind of needed to be on sniper there, I suppose. But after you killed that one guy, what you should have been doing is trying to bait them in. You're a sniper. So you take that shot. If you can't kill them all because they're so, they're pushing you, you just try and surf a rocket out. They walk forward, your soldier shoots them, then you scope back up right here. Again, it's that cycling. It's that cycling. It's the tornado of fucking frags, you know? That's what you need to be thinking about, my friend. What? We've already watched 29 minutes of this demo. Impossible. See, I actually like that. See there, he had full health. He knew that he could take at least one pipe from the demo. So he pushed forward. He took the pipe. But that pushed the demo back, and then he backed up. But now he has 70 health. Now the demo can one-shot you, so you stop pushing. You know? You stop pushing when you can get one shot. That's what you do. You push forward until you can die, and then you back up. It's the tornado, man. You need to embrace it. You know? Look at your health. Look at who you're chasing. If that player can one-shot you, you don't do it. You do not do it. You go as far as you have to until they run away. Okay? If they cannot one-shot you, potentially you chase a little bit further, but then once they can one-shot you, you run away. That's it. That's literally all you do as scout. I think a lot of people, they over-respect the idea of, I have to chase this person until they die. I have to be the ultimate fragger for my team. If there's someone in my range, they must die. Even if they're running away, their death is more important than me making space. But I think that's the wrong mentality. I really do. I think the best mentality is I sweep the area from a good position. They're out, therefore we win. I do not have to push them to oblivion. I do not have to push them to infinity. Them backing up all the way to spawn, even if they're alive the entire round, if they back up all the way to spawn, I win. That's what you need to be thinking as a scout. Unless they're all weak and you have a fat flank. You know? That's what you do. Okay? Otherwise, what am I thinking? On mids, he really needs to get a buff. Never did he get a second buff on mids. His mids were, I get buffed on rollout and I full commit. There was never I half commit, then I back up, get buffed. I half commit, my teammate full commits, then I full commit. That's how you play scout. You don't full commit, then die. And then your medic's like, I heal a demo man this mid. Your med, he's praying. He's literally praying to the Team Fortress 2 gods that you want to get buffed. That's all he wants. Because what's a scout going to do? He's going to deny the soldier. He's going to clean up frags. He's going to make space. He's going to hold the high ground. He's going to do everything. The scout is the pressure. Imagine a team losing both scouts early and winning a mid. Impossible. It is not possible. Because the soldiers have to hit miraculous rockets. The demo has to hit every pipe. That does not happen. It does not happen. It's impossible. Okay? The scout's role is so crucial on mids, but it's only crucial if he survives. It only works if he survives. So you rotate back for heals, then you push. That's what you do. When you see your teammate pushing the flank, you help him, okay? If you have the health, you help him. If you have 150 health, you push until you know you will die with 150 health. You don't push until you're gonna fucking die. You push until, alright, I've hit a few shots, but the other person hit me, but I've made a little bit of ground. They have to back up to a health pack. That creates an opening for my roamer, but I'll survive. As long as you're making pressure, but surviving at all times, you're doing your job. That's what you fucking do. That is what you do as a scout. Okay? Look at this guy. See this scout on my main menu? He's just like, yeah, that's what you do. Is it really that hard? Okay, so do it. You got it. I believe in you. Thank you.